Hey, what's up, everybody? It's almost October, which means it is time to talk some more Halloween. Today I'm doing a Halloween tier list that I found on the tier list website, and it is the characters from the David Gordon Green trilogy, and also some 78 characters just in Halloween 1978 mixed in as well. So there's a lot of kind of a wide variety of characters in the David Gordon Green trilogy from a wide variety of totally different movies, right? So this should be fun. I'm going to get into it. The categories are best, great, good, okay, and let it burn. So without further ado, let's break this down and let's talk some Halloween. So it goes without saying, I'm going to say it anyway. This is my opinions on these characters. Nothing more, nothing less. I know my opinion on these characters is going to be vastly different than a lot of your opinions on these characters. So if that pisses you off, if where I'm putting these characters legitimately makes your blood boil, get some fucking serious help, guys. This is YouTube. Let's not take this shit too seriously. All right, without further ado, let's jump right into this. We got Anthony Michael Hall. It's Tommy Doyle. Well, Tommy Doyle is a classic character, right? And Anthony Michael Hall is a very good actor. It should be a great character, right? For me, let it burn. Worst of the worst. I thought Anthony Michael Hall's performance as Tommy Doyle was pretty terrible. I thought the writing that they gave Anthony Michael Hall was even worse than pretty terrible. So nothing here worked for me, and it's disappointing because I was excited, A, about Anthony Michael Hall, and B, about Tommy Doyle, the character, coming back. I was very excited about that. So maybe I'm just a little hurt. Maybe my expectations were a little higher than they should have been. But for me, he's terrible, and let it burn. Next, we got Lindsay Wallace, a fan favorite character. Everyone was excited about her returning. She had a great chase scene with Myers in Halloween Kills. One of the best scenes in the trilogy, actually. And then in Halloween Ends, she was like a fortune teller bar owner. For me, I know a lot of people would put her in great. For me, she's just okay. I don't think that Kyle Richards. I don't think she's a great actress, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I just think her contributions to the David Gordon Green trilogy are just a little overrated to me. But she's not bad. She's okay. Next, we have Nurse Marion Chambers from Halloween Kills. We're going with all the legacy characters here. Marion Chambers, just like Lindsay, okay. She was okay. I don't know why she's hanging out at the bar with these people, 20, 30 years younger than her because they all had to run in with Myers, I guess, 40 years ago. Whatever. Cringy line. This is for Dr. Loomis. Just cringy. I can't put her any higher than okay. And that brings us to Lonnie Lamb, the bully when Tommy was a kid. And obviously Lonnie was a kid as well. The bully. And he's played by Robert Longstreet in Halloween Kills. And for me, he was great. He was my favorite character in Halloween Kills. One of my favorite characters in this trilogy. I can't believe I'm saying that. I thought everything that Robert Longstreet did as far as acting choices go were pretty damn good. And I thought the character, what they did with this character was pretty damn good. It would have been very easy to make him, still a douchebag. Still treated Tommy like shit. Make him a shitty father to Cameron, right? All that. But they didn't. They realized this is just a fucking kid. When he's, being a little shit, he's just a little kid. There's a lot of little kids that are little shits and they turn out to be great people. And I'm glad they didn't take the obvious route of making him still just be a douchebag. So I thought that was smart, and I appreciated that, and I thought Robert Longstreet was great. Next, we got the nurse character. Vanessa is her name. I can't comprehend what her name was, but she was the nurse. think she was a doctor, actually. The joke was that then the genders were reversed from their costumes. But she had a memorable death scene where Michael kicks the car door and she shoots herself in the face. I'll say she was good. She was good. Next, we got her husband, who played the doctor, but he was actually a nurse, if you're keeping track. For me, he was he was okay. He was okay. Didn't really bring much to the table. Next, we got two characters. We're gonna do them together. We got Big John and Little John. A lot of people loved them. A lot of people hated them. I am in the category where I loved them. I thought they were both great. I loved the whole scene at the house with them, when they're both grabbing their knives and all kinds of little things, little minute details that they did with those characters. I really enjoyed. They're both great. Next, we're going to do these two together as well. Phil and Sandra. Thought they were both good. The scene where Myers kills them, or I should say kills Phil, because Sandra came back in Halloween Kills alive, even after he stuck a fluorescent light through her goddamn jugular. Different story, but as characters go, I thought they were both good. I loved their death scene. I did it again. Loved Phil's death scene and Sandra's injury scene. But yeah, I thought they were good. I thought they had good chemistry together. And, I love when Phil says, there's a monster in the bathroom or something, whatever the hell he says. I thought that was great. So they were both good. Next, we got the man everyone loves to hate, or love, or hate. Depends on who you are. Of course, I'm talking about Corey Cunningham. Corey Cunningham. Let it burn. No, best. No. He's great to me. Whether you agree with the decision or not, and I realize a lot of people probably tuned off to this video right now, but whether you agree with the decision or not to make Halloween Ends about Corey, I think if you look at it objectively, you can agree, or most people can agree, that Corey was an interesting or fascinating or whatever hyperbole you want to use character. I thought he was great. I was all into his story. It's unfortunate that it'll never really get the due it deserves because it was in Halloween Ends, the last movie in the trilogy and in the franchise for right now. It won't get its due, but I thought Corey was a great character. Next, we got the kid that Corey was babysitting. I don't know. Let's call him Little Shit, and let's call him Let It Burn. Okay. Next, we got his parents, Little Shit's parents. The mom, also Let It Burn. I get that she was upset at Corey. I get that. Human reaction, right? To be upset. He fucking accidentally killed her son. That is horrifying. She was still addicted to Corey at the bar. I even would understand that reaction because she's human, right? But still, I can't put her any higher than Let It Burn. And Corey's dad. Corey's dad is jumping up to good. I love the conversation he has in Halloween Ends with Lori and Lindsay, where he's explaining that he was slowly stopping by to kind of forgive Corey, right? I really enjoyed that part. And then he said, when I looked in his eyes, that wasn't him anymore. I loved that. And I loved that he was going to try to forgive Corey. Corey, it was an accident, but he did a horrible thing. And this dad realized that Corey was not a bad kid. So I really enjoyed that little small, minute piece of character development. All right, next we got Corey's stepfather. He was a nice guy. He was his boss at the junkyard, right? I'm going to put him as a good character. I thought he was good because Corey's mom, who I'm getting to now, we're just going to, spoiler alert, I'm throwing in her into Let It Burn. She was a biatch. But it would have been very easy to have both of Corey's parents be terrible people. Terrible role models for him, right? But they didn't. They went with the stepdad having a heart. And I thought that was a nice choice. It's got a cool death scene when he gets his head blown off, too. Next, it looks like we got the cop that Allison was sleeping with. What kind of storyline was this? Dumb. This is where Michael kills him and has the shapegasm. He's a let it burn. Next, we got the band geeks that are bullying Corey. Let me say that again. Not the jocks, not the football players, the band geeks that are bullying Corey. All of them can go into Let It Burn. They all fucking sucked. All of them. Fucking terrible. The junkyard scene was extra satisfying, seeing them all get what's coming to them. Next, we got the radio DJ from Halloween Ends. I can't remember his name. But he, just for the fact that he gets his tongue cut off and the symbolism there, because he never shut the fuck up. But just for that, I'm putting him in okay. They could have done a little more with him. I know they tried giving him a little character development, a little bit, when he runs into Allison and Corey and he's talking about Laurie Strode and all that shit. But it wasn't enough. And it was a satisfying death he had. Next, we have Officer Frank Hawkins. Halloween Ends did him no favors. He's got his hair all crazy. I don't even know if he's a fucking cop anymore. I still don't know. I've seen the movie a few times. I still don't know if when he comes in at the end, he's still on the force or not, or he's just going there to help Laurie. But obviously he was a big part of both Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills was essentially his movie, right? Which is crazy with the flashback and him and Laurie's conversations in the hospital. I'm telling you right now, Officer Frank Hawkins is going all the way to the top. He's going to the best category. I thought, especially in Halloween Kills and Halloween 2018, he should have been the sheriff. I know everyone says that. He should have been the sheriff. But especially what they did with him in those two movies, and the flashback and all that. I loved Hawkins. One of the best characters in this trilogy. So that's our first best. Now we got Mr. Peanut Butter on his penis. I am not going to put him in Let It Burn. I'm going to put him in okay. Okay? Ray, he was the Wiz in Seinfeld. He was also in an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, The Freak Book. I think he was a limo driver for Larry David. But he had a little bit of charm to him. Little bit of charm. He's also kind of a fucking weirdo. But just for that little bit of charm, he's going to not be sitting with all the other idiots in Let It Burn. Next, we got Lonnie's son, Cameron. Horrible character in 2018. I don't want to say horrible character, but I didn't like him in 2018. I loved him in Halloween Kills, just like his father. I loved their dynamic. I loved that him and Allison kind of rectified a little bit. He's the one that found Hawkins. He's the one that went with Allison. He has a brutal, brutal death. I'm calling him great. He redeemed himself so much in Halloween Kills that he is great. He's right up there with Brady in the franchise as far as douchebag boyfriends who tried to, redeem themselves and ended up getting killed by Myers. All right, next, we got Oscar. He had a great death scene, with the motion sensor light and things like that. But other than that, not much. He can go in okay. Next, we got Vicky, and I can't even remember her boyfriend's name. Vicky, for her banter with Julian, is going to go in good. Her boyfriend's name was Dave. Dave can be in okay. He was all right. I liked Vicky's character a lot, actually. It's unfortunate her death scene was ruined by the trailer. But what we got of her was really nice. And piggybacking off of that, next is Julian. Julian was also a good character. And he was nice enough to show up at the junkyard at the end of Halloween Ends, right? Randomly. Next, we got the podcasters. Erin. I can't remember her name. But podcasters. I liked the fact that they are the ones that kind of opened up and started this whole thing because they wanted to do a podcast on these murders that happened 40 years ago. And I thought that that's very realistic of something that would obviously happen today, with YouTube and podcasts and TikTok and all that shit. They had brutal death scenes in the gas station bathroom. I thought they were both good characters. I can't put them any higher than in the middle. Next, we got Dr. Sartain. Oh boy, where to put Dr. Sartain. I'm doing this on the fly, guys. I like doing it on the fly. It's a legitimate, authentic reaction. But Dr. Sartain, so much good. And then there's that twist. And there's that twist. So fucking stupid. Then he put the mask on. I am going to put Dr. Sartain in the good category because he had a lot of potential. And they realized some of that potential. You know, just a different side of Loomis. I thought he was a good character. Could have been great. That's what's disappointing. Sartain could have been great. But they dropped the ball with that one. Next, we got Michael Myers. He's obviously best because that's why we fucking come here, right? Next, we have the sheriff. Sheriff Barker. Dear Lord. What the fuck are they doing with this character? Let it burn. Do I need to fucking say anything else? What a waste. Next, we got Laurie Strode. Laurie's going to let it burn as well. Because, I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. She can go in best. You know, very important to this trilogy. Very important to this franchise. Although I have a lot of issues with some of the creative decisions that Jamie Lee Curtis, in my opinion, was driving at. I have a lot of issues with the way they portrayed her, you know, like Sarah Connor Light in 2018. I will say she redeemed herself a little bit in Halloween Ends. But this is also including the OG, right? So she's one of the best final girls of all time. You know, she helped make this trilogy what it was because, you know, the success of 2018 had to do with Jamie Lee Curtis coming back. Not all of it. You know, I'm talking about financial success, by the way, not anything creatively, because, like I said, I think they gave Jamie Lee Curtis way too much power, but that's a whole nother video. But she still belongs in the best category. Next for me, Donald Pleasance, Dr. Loomis. That's even more of a slam dunk than Myers. All right, next we got some characters from the OG here, and then followed by a couple of Strode girls. So we got Annie Brackett. Annie, she's annoying, kind of a bitch, but man, is she important to this this franchise, and especially obviously Halloween 78. She is a good character. I don't think she's great. I don't think Nancy Keys or Nancy Loomis, whatever the fuck she's called, I don't think she's a great actress. Next, we got Linda. Where does Linda belong? Does she also belong in good, is the question. Well, there's an answer to that. Totally. How about Linda's boyfriend, Bob? Bob, yeah. Bob, yeah. You can go and let it burn for a little comment about ripping little Lindsay Wallace's clothes off. Sorry, man. You make a comment like that, you're in let it burn. Next, we got Sheriff Brackett. Oh boy. Oh boy. Is he a better sheriff than Barker? Yeah, but is that the bar we're going by? Brackett's okay. Cringe line in Halloween Kills, by the way. Brackett's just okay. Nothing more, nothing less. Allison Strode. Allison. I want to put her in best. I do, but I can't. She slept with that weird ass cop. No, I'm just kidding. That's not why. But no, she's a great character. I thought she was a great character. The reason I'm not putting her in best is because I think they had a little more potential they could have done with her. But overall, I really enjoyed her character, especially in Halloween Kills. I didn't like her in Halloween Ends too much. A little bit of a rebel phase and, you know, all her shit with Corey. I understand what they were going for, but it didn't really make me like Allison as a character too much. And 2018 was more Laurie's story, but I loved the relationship between her and Laurie in 2018. And finally, guys, we have Karen Strode, who came off in the first hour and 10 minutes or whatever the hell it was in 2018 being a terrible character. Then she got the gotcha moment and started to redeem herself. And she was fantastic in Halloween Kills. Absolutely fantastic. She's a great character. So that is my tier ranking of the characters from the David Gordon Green trilogy and Halloween 1978. Tell me who you guys would have in the best category, who you would have in the Let It Burn category, who was I way off on. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.